how much people play game per day, and you can see in this graph that the average time is increasing as time goes by. And with following this demand, the global game market is also becoming larger and larger as time goes by. So we can see that many people are playing games. However, there are some people who play games too much and lose control of themselves. In May 5th, a father killed his baby by hitting him because the baby was disturbing him playing game. And also in May 25th, a couple left their baby alone for a very long time and eventually made the baby die. So the game addiction is becoming a serious problem nowadays. And with this background, WHO sorted game addiction as a disease. So you may wonder what game addiction is, and this is what WHO said. In short, they say that a person who shows these symptoms for 12 months are sorted to game addiction. And if the symptom is very serious, then it can be shorter than 12 months. And these symptoms are only part of the symptoms. There are more symptoms that WHO said. And many people have arguments with this topic. They think it's right or wrong. And in my opinion, I think we should sort game addiction as a disease. Before I say my reason why I think this way, I want to make it clear that sorting game addiction as a disease does not mean that the game is a bad thing, but it becomes a problem when people are addicted to the game. The first reason is because we can give obvious criteria. Many parents and children have trouble with the game, including me, and the parents always end up that the children is addicted to the game, but we don't think we play the game so much. But if we give obvious criteria, then the parents will not easily say that we are addicted to the game. Like, we drink alcohol very much, but our parents don't say we are addicted to alcohol. And also, we can give caution about the game because when it becomes a disease, the players will think that will be aware of their playing time. Will be aware of playing times. Because when we once start playing game, we don't check time, and when we end the game, like lots of hours are passed. But if we look at the monitor in the same position for a long time, then it can cause some serious health problems like xerophthalmia, which is dry eye, and some bone problems. And this graph is how much people suffer from the turtleneck syndrome. And you can see it's increasing as time goes by. And turtleneck syndrome is caused when you look at the monitor or cell phone, heading down for a long time. So if we play game much, then we look at the monitor heading down for a long time. And patients who suffer from the turtleneck syndrome increases. So if we are aware of our playing times, then we can solve this problem. And finally, we can help addicts. According to Dr. Heather Madison, an addiction neuroscientist, she says that game addiction is similar with a drug addiction, which releases dopamine as a reward. And you know, the drug addiction can't recover by oneself, and they ask help for hospital or some programs. And similarly, the game addiction will be hard to recover from themselves. So if the game addiction becomes a disease, then the hospital or some programs will be better, and there will be treatment to help those addicted people. So the addicts will be easy to recover from the addiction. Even though there are good reasons why we should sort game addiction as a disease, there are people who disagree with the idea. They first say it makes games something bad. However, as I first said, sorting game addiction as a disease does not mean the game is bad. And they also worry about the game markets declining. But let's see the case of alcohol. Alcohol addiction is officially a disease, but we don't think alcohol is such a bad thing, and actually we like alcohol very much. And you can see in this graph, and this is the ingredients of the alcohol, and it is also increasing. So, samely, we won't think the game is such a bad thing, and the game market will not decline. And also, even the game is not a bad thing, but if game can be dangerous to some people, then I think we should be aware of game before starting the game, because we don't know how we will change after we play game very much. And also they say it violates the UN child rights. The UN child right is the right of children UN published to guarantee their life. And this is what UN children rights say. The people who disagree says we have to guarantee the children to play, but according to the UN children, it says we have to guarantee the children their health and help them develop. So actually, according to UN children rights, then we have to sort the game addiction as a disease to help them develop and keep them healthy. Game addiction has many problems like mental problem and physical problem. Some addicts confuse reality and the game world and eventually commits crime. And like I said, more and more people are suffering from the physical problems with game addicts. So I think we should sort game addiction as a disease. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
I guess kind of what we were talking about when you were telling me about this topic. Games are addictive because, like, in the same way Facebook is addictive, or social media is addictive, or getting emails is addictive, or sex is addictive, or a bit different from alcohol. Alcohol is addictive because there's actually a chemical in the alcohol that's addictive. Same with tobacco, same with certain kinds of drugs. But games are addictive because of dopamine release, and we get used to that. But so many other things are too. Like, if we classify all of the things that are addictive because they cause dopamine release as a disease, don't we have too many diseases?
I think we don't have to care about other diseases because just game is a game, and other subjects are other subjects, and the game is becoming a serious problem because there are no articles that are really that other subjects addicts are doing some wrong thing, but notice, like I said, in last month there was 2 crimes that was caused by game addiction. So I think the game addiction is becoming a social problem. So we have to first sort the game addiction as a disease, and then others can be.
But those are anecdotal examples. You know, I think drug addiction causes more crime. Maybe sex addiction causes more crime. Social media addiction causes more suicides. Like, you didn't give us like overall statistics, or did you? Did you give us any statistics on crime related to game addiction? Just a couple of stories, right? So we've got no idea if that would happen every day, every month, every year, or every 5 years, or every 10 years. Like, we don't know how prevalent the problem is, right? So without understanding the prevalence, I think designating something as a disease when there's lots of things that fall into the same category that are not counted as disease doesn't really make sense.
I really don't know why we have to care about other subjects.
Well, like, social media addiction leads to depression and suicide, and you know, you mentioned a couple of cases, but Were those cases because of game addiction, or were they because of other personality problems the parents had? Whereas when kids get addicted to social media, they start getting depressed, they start comparing themselves with other kids, and that can lead them to suicide or self-harm or something like that. Like, isn't that a more serious problem to designate as a disease rather than game addiction?
It can be a serious problem, but what I want to say was about the game addiction. So, if that becomes a serious problem, then wouldn't WHO say it's another mental disease?
I don't know if they do or not. Any other questions, comments? Okay.